Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping right into the Google Cloud and Mandiant CISO forecast for 2026. Our mission here is pretty simple. We're pulling out the 5 strategic pillars you absolutely need to grasp about the future of cyber defense. And we have to start with what feels like, well, the most dramatic shift in the whole report. It's this idea that we're moving from an era of attackers breaking in to an era where they are, and this is the key, just logging in.
Exactly. They're using AI-augmented tools to exploit the very identities we rely on. And that's the pivot point. If your whole strategy is still about, reactive patching or securing a network wall, you're already behind. This forecast is a wake-up call. And understanding these 5 pillars it's just crucial.
Okay, let's unpack that. Pillar 1, the Agentic SOC. The sources say traditional security operations centers are just drowning.
They are. The alert volume it's past human scale. No team can triage that manually anymore.
So what's the fix? What's an Agentic SOC?
It completely flips the script. The analyst stops being a manual log hunter and becomes more of a strategic architect.
Yeah. Directing fleets of AI agents.
Precisely. You're telling the AI what to hunt for, and the goal is to get your response time from, say, hours down to seconds.
Yeah.
It's all about automation.
Okay, that makes sense. But pillar 2 is the one that I found genuinely alarming. Identity as the new atomic perimeter. We're all told, use MFA, but this says attackers are just bypassing it by stealing cookies.
They're not cracking the password, they're stealing the session. It's what the report calls agentic identity theft.
Yeah.
And that huge perimeter we used to defend, it's basically shrunk down to a single point.
Just your identity.
Just your identity. And here's the specific that is just mind-blowing from the sources. By 2026, non-human identities, we're talking machines, bots, AI, they're going to outnumber human employees by almost 80 to 1.
80 to 1. Wow.
Yeah. So defense can't just be about protecting people. You need agentic identity management, a system that is constantly evaluating risk. Location, device health, time of day for every single actor, human or not.
That 80 to 1 ratio. That leads us right into pillar 3, right? The shadow agent challenge.
It's the modern version of shadow IT.
So instead of employees spinning up their own servers, they're deploying autonomous AI agents.
Exactly. And those agents have permissions, and they can be tripped by something called a leaky prompt into exfiltrating sensitive IP.
So you're not hacking the system, you're persuading the AI.
You're persuading the AI, which is why you need controls like model armor at the gateway.
Yeah.
You need technical guardrails before those agents can even touch the data.
Okay, so that's a huge software problem. Let's switch gears a bit to the infrastructure. Pillar 4, the hypervisor blind spot. The report says as our regular operating systems get more secure, attackers are just going one layer deeper.
Right, down to the hypervisor. And just so everyone's clear, that's the operating system that runs underneath all your other servers.
So if they crack that,
they have God mode. It doesn't matter how secure the applications on top are, the foundation is gone. This means you have to extend zero trust principles deep, really deep, into the infrastructure. Every virtual switch, every storage controller has to be treated as untrusted. Continuous verification all the way down.
Which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, pillar 5. It's the human element, AI fluency.
The human firewall 2.0.
Because all this tech is only half the battle, right? Social engineering is now hyper-personalized with voice cloning, with deepfakes.
Yeah, that standard don't click the link training is completely obsolete. It's useless against this level of manipulation. You need a cultural shift, a culture of what the report calls AI fluency.
So, things like cyber war games, Agentic SOC workshops.
Exactly. You have to train people to spot the very subtle, very nuanced signs of an AI-augmented attack. It's a whole new ballgame.
So wrapping this all up for you listening, what does this mean? It means the future of defense has to be automated, it has to be identity-centric, and it requires this deep cultural retraining to even survive.
And that leaves us with a final thought, or a pretty important question for you to consider. If our defense now relies on this constant, continuous evaluation of a user's identity and context, well, as we start applying this agentic identity management, you have to ask, how much context is too much? What does that level of proactive monitoring actually mean for the future of our digital privacy?